And we are back one more again on the Main Event Podcast, baby. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube as we continue to bring you nothing but the best inside, outside of boxing. And whatever's going on in the sport of boxing, we basically trying to talk about it here on the Main Event. Because when you talk about boxing, the main event is all people want to see anyway, and that's where the title comes from. You feel me, Mike?
That's right.
Well, I'm one of your hosts, Towan Butler. I'm over here doing my thing, rocking my chief scarf. You know what I'm saying? It was like 94 degrees out here, but the hating was cold, so I had to put a scarf around my neck to keep the hating off. You know what I'm saying? And
nobody care about no Chiefs.
Hey man, I was just about to introduce you. So to my left, you feel me? I got Mike Risper over here, just putting down my Chiefs for no reason because the Lions took an L.
Oh, see, you had to do that.
Feel me?
Why you had to do that?
Because you just said wait, no nobody, and you got my partner laughing before I could even introduce the homie.
You didn't have to do that though.
I had to stoop that low.
Y'all just won a championship. We ain't won
did.
one.
Hey,
so
man.
You didn't have to do that.
I got these application papers if you want them.
No. We'll never do
You don't
those.
want them?
Nah.
I won't tell nobody you're a bandwagoner. I won't. I keep it.
I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Okay, brother. All right, brother. Well, that's Mike Risper, everybody. He like large Slurpees in the Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? So, but in the middle right here, I got a man right here. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to break him down to you. The man come in the sport of boxing, making noise. Used to fight himself. He didn't even had a couple big name fighters up under his belt, putting fighters on big pay-per-view stages, writing books, giving game outside of boxing about what goes on inside of boxing. 2 books out, running a fight network, putting deals together behind closed doors, but the man be right here and I'm telling all his business. But if you don't know who he is right now, I'm talking about none other than Adrian Protect Yourself at all times. Clark, baby. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's how I know you my homie. You didn't have to read off no paper.
No, nothing. Man, come on. You know it. Yeah. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, appreciate you having me here, bro.
Man, I appreciate you
I had to fly here, bro.
From Texas.
I had to fly here.
I was like, hey, Mike Nola. I was like, man, you sure? We could do Zoom. You know, we did Austin Zoom, so I thought we was on. Come on, we get you on Zoom. He was like, nah, bruh. I gotta get out of Texas anyway, bro.
Cheap flights anyway. I'm like, yo, you my partner, so I gotta come see. It's been what, 2 years, 3 years since we've seen each other?
I think so. Yeah. I think it has been that long.
Wow.
Yeah, it has. Yes, it has. What's been going on with you though, man? You got your little mans now. Yeah. I be seeing him on there, little Ace.
Yeah, man.
He's a player. He's a player.
Yeah, baseball. We're going for baseball.
Baseball.
Man. So,
okay.
Yeah, baseball's a good sport.
Man.
They pay pretty good too.
That's right.
Man, they paying great in baseball, but you never know, man. He might grow up and cross over to football like Pat Mahomes.
He could do both.
All right,
You see how we can talk about Pat in any situation?
I just want to say something.
I'm sorry.
I'm a 49er fan, and this dude know I'm a 49er fan. And I can't even say nothing to defend myself because whatever I say, he can always counter with, bro. Like,
Hey,
I lost, so
I just have fun, man. I just have fun. But nah, we gonna dive into the real reason why we got you here, man, is to talk about you and the Protect Yourself at All Times movement and just your background in sporting, period, man. How'd you even come across to find yourself in the sporting world? Because even outside of boxing, you didn't help manage NBA athletes and other stuff like that. So,
well, you know, my brother. He's passed away in 2006, but my brother prepared me like for all of this, man.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that introduced me to boxing. With all the times he used to beat me up, you know how it is. You got an older brother.
yeah, for sure. I got an older bro.
You know what it is.
You know it.
That's how I learned like how to fight, but you know, fighting and boxing, 2 different things. And he prepared me, man. And when he passed, I was just kind of trying to figure myself out, what I was going to do, where life was going to take me. And got down to Corpus Christi. I graduated from Texas A&M in Corpus Christi. And I found a boxing gym at the neighborhood center. And it's history from there, man. So to get this far, I guess I'm not gonna say so fast because it looks like it's overnight, but man,
I know.
Yeah, you already know.
Trust me, I know.
But yeah, I dedicate everything that I'm doing in the world of boxing and my books and everything to my brother. Because if it wasn't for him, you know what I'm saying, with the butt whoopings he used to give me,
Right.
I wouldn't be here.
And he came by with one of his books, you feel me? I'm gonna get a homie an infomercial free of charge. This my partner, you feel me? He got the Dark Horse, you know what I mean? The Boxing Manager's Memoir by Adrian, Protect Yourself at All Times, Clark, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you know you the man when you get Forward by Jay Prince. I'm just saying, it say right there, you know you the man.
You the man.
How you do that?
The man behind the man. Like Jay's the man. You already know. That's your homie.
That's the partner. I'm just saying. But I don't think he'd be like, T, I put my name on your book. You know what I'm saying? I might got to call you to call him. You see what I'm saying?
Jay's my guy. I've learned a great deal from him, man. Just, you know. And I will say this. He scared me so bad. The first time he reached out to me, like it wasn't planned. I had no clue he was calling me. I think Ty Duvall from Top Rank gave him my number. Man, I was getting ready to take a nap. Like at my parents' crib, and I saw the number come through. I saw the Houston number. I'm like, oh, who this is? Man, I pick up the phone. I thought he said this is Jazz Prince, which is his son. I was like, I don't know why he called him. I'm like, yo, how your pops doing? And he was like, nah, this is the daddy. And I was like,
that sound like him, bro. That sound like him.
And I just froze. And I was like, what did I do? It was a good call. We stayed on the phone for about an hour. It was before he put his book out. So we talked about books and business and life. And since then, man, I've been a sponge around it, man.
Man, I already know, man. Right. Talk about some of the fighters you work with, man, that you help put on, Showtime Championship boxing, or, being opening bouts on pay-per-views and the work it goes in to get them in that position. Because everybody managing fighters, ultimate goal is to want to get them to that big stage, and you've done it a few times.
Well, I mean, it started off with Jerry Belmontes, the Corpus Christi kid. Yeah, that started off with him. He hired me when I was 24 years old. So I really learned the ropes of boxing through Jerry. And we got to our first championship like 3 years into managing him. Controversial loss to Omar Figueroa. I remember
that. That's around the time we met. I think around the time we met when he was about to fight Omar Figueroa.
Started with him, and I kind of just learned the ropes, and I made a lot of mistakes that I can look back on. Like, I shouldn't have done that then, but learning on the fly, man, because there was no mentor or anything like that. After Jerry was James De La Rosa, and James opened up like Mayweather-Maidana rematch. Huge upset against Alfredo Angulo, and I think I was like 28 at the time.
And how did that feel, man? Not only to have your fighter get his first pay-per-view check, but just
his poise, like, because I was nervous. I didn't know we had to do grand arrivals. Like, you pull up in the limo, it's red carpet. Like, we got out, I'm like, I'm nervous. But it's relationship based, man. Yeah. One thing with me, my dad always taught me, what I'm saying, it's not about what you know or who you know, it's who knows you, who can identify with you. And just reaching out to different promoters, from Rob Diaz to Eric Gomez, Kathy Duva, Jolie Mazzone, Brad Goodman, built good relationships with those people.
Yeah, for sure.
They can identify with me, and that's what opportunities came from for my clients. But it's about Willie Monroe. Willie Monroe was my first, high profile fighter that I represented. And we got to a world title with Billy Joe Saunders, and we had a good journey. And then, of course, guys that I helped out kind of on the side. Everybody knows Errol Spence Jr. I still do work for that knucklehead now.
Yeah. Hey, how's he doing, man? How's he doing? I remember he came here to the barber company, 7320 South Rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Suite 111. He came here, got cut up by Mike Risper. Right. And then I was like, yeah, man, AC, that's my boy. Call him on the phone right now. I said, man, look, if I call him, he ain't going to answer, bro. I'm just going to tell you right now. But if you call him, he might pick up the phone. If you call him. But if I'm calling, he ain't picking. Hey, I'll call him. He'd be like, bro, just text me, bro. I'll be like, nah, man, I'm old school. I got to talk. I got too much to talk.
But Earl was a real
he was
down-to-earth, cool guy, man. I really appreciated meeting him. It wasn't like, some people you run up on and they get that glamour and, you can't just approach him. But he's down-to-earth, approachable.
How's he doing?
I call him
because he got a fight coming up too, right? Who's he about to fight? Danny Garcia. Right. When is that fight?
November 21st.
Yeah. No, that's my daughter's birthday, November 21st. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a good selection for him too. After time off and
coming
back.
It is.
Yeah, most people think that he's like I guess biting off too much as far as coming back after a car accident.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
We see him.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I at first that was my first notion was just don't come back at build your way back up to that But, after seeing, that he's okay, seeing him talk on some interviews, talking about how he's in shape and how he's losing his weight and how he's right on point, I don't see no reason for him to wait, man. Go on, do what you got to do.
Well, we see him all the time in Dallas, so it's like people don't really get to see him work out. Like his work ethic is insane. So like people from a distance, like, oh man, I don't know, but man, we see him all the time, and it's like, bruh,
He works.
I call him the immortal. I call him the immortal truth now, bro, because it's like that accident.
Man, he walked away without a scratch.
No broken bones,
Bruh. Like that movie Unbreakable with
what
Bruce
I'm
Willis and
saying?
Samuel L. Jackson.
But no,
Train wreck, nothing happened. You know what
I
I'm
think he'll
saying?
get a good win against Danny. I'll be shocked if he stops Danny, but I think he's gonna get a good decision win against Danny and bigger and better things from there, man.
For sure. Now, let's go dive back into Adrian Clark, man. What up, Earl, man? Good to see you, man. It was great to see you. Next time you come to Vegas, you know you got to come back through all day long, baby. The Main Event Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe, Earl. Quit playing with it. Let's dive back into you, AC, man, and talk about how you stumbled up on the Protect Yourself at All Times movement. Was it like you got fed up with how promoters was doing fighters? So, was you like somebody got to speak up or somebody? Because your movement took off. And it's because of your movement, fighters started reaching out to you with big names. You know what I'm saying? So talk about.
No, what's funny, man? I was certified as a sports agent, the National Basketball Players Association. Like that was my first gig. And I was trying to represent NBA players. But when you get certified, you have to go to a seminar. And like they're teaching young agents, old agents, like how the game goes and how you're supposed to do things and what you're not supposed to do. And that seminar taught me a lot. But I wasn't managing fighters at the time. But once I got into the boxing business and I just saw everything was just so spread out, like we call it the Wild Wild West, and you can do what you want and it's like whatever. And I was actually planning a symposium to help educate fighters on the business, because you're fighting amateur right now. If you're looking to go pro, there is no seminar, there is no symposium, there's no transitional process to help you understand, like, yo, amateur is not professional.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Forget about getting paid. Like, it's contracts, it's taxes, it's a lot of stuff that USA boxing and amateur fighting does not prepare you for. So I was planning a symposium, and I put everything on this dry erase board. And I was sitting back looking one day, and I'm like, wait, like this is a book. So I ended up taking like the chapters or the titles I wanted to do with certain like topics on the symposium, turn them into chapters and just filled in the blanks. And I ended up getting a book out of it. And I'm disappointed at one thing. I met Bernard Hopkins in Canada. Rob Diaz, Golden Boy, introduced us. And, I told Bernard like what I had thought of. And I'm like, yo, it would be great for you to be a part of it. You were a part of the whole Muhammad Ali Act, like that crossover in 2000. Like, yo, it'd be great for you to. So he flew to Dallas and we met up. He spent 2 days in Dallas and we just talked about everything. Man, talked about the business, and it was a real private, like quiet meeting. But I thought he was game. I thought he was in. And when it came down to it, man, like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was money or whatever. But he decided to not do it. So I'm like, you know what? Just do it myself. And bruh, like it's been.
You went hard with that campaign too,
man.
bruh.
So it's like started off with a book, and it graduated to a podcast, which I partnered with Everlast with. Now it's going to be pretty much a TV show. So it's just been a lot.
Good. TV show.
Wow.
How you slide that in like that? Like it wasn't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Talk about the TV show, bruh.
Yeah, so I'm not managing anymore. I actually retired from managing fighters this past year, man. It's been it was 9 years, and I had a good 9 years. I did everything I wanted to do. I did not manage a world champion, but we got the 2 world championships, and I still feel accomplished. There's nothing that I didn't do as a manager, but protect yourself at all times is important. You know what I'm saying? Education is key for not only kids, but also for us adults.
Right.
And, to be able to step away from managing and be able to help out all fighters instead of just like 10 specific fighters.
Right.
That's important for me, man. But I'm a consultant with the Fight Network, which is based out of Canada, and they have a lot of original programming that we're putting on. And protect yourself at all times. We talk about the book and we talk about the podcast. There's a lot of talk going on, but people don't really see what it looks like on how to protect yourself and how fighters get taken advantage of. So for me to be able to take what's in my head and kind of put it into like motion picture form,
Yeah.
where people can look at it and be like, wait, like I didn't know that it was like that. Seeing is really believing. Like you can read something or you can hear it, and it's like, I get it, but no, you don't get it until you actually see it. So to actually be able to put it in motion picture form, man, this is really going to be dope for me. I think it's going to hit home with a lot of not only fighters but their families, different managers, trainers, or whatever. So I'm excited for what's to come, man.
For sure. Did you get any backlash from other boxing managers and promoters? Like, hey man, shut up! You giving away too much game over there, man. What is you doing?
I think, no, I really didn't. Like, cause T, you know how it is, man. Like, I'm always at these events, man. But like, I'm by myself. Like, if someone had a problem, like, come say something to me, or we can talk about it or whatever. But I think now, since people see like I'm like under Jay's wing,
ain't nobody messing with you.
You ain't gonna have no problems. Trust me.
Nah, man, not at all.
But no backlash, man. I think honestly, everyone knows like what's right and what's wrong, and honestly, you know, the sport of boxing, the business of boxing, fighters should look at the business, boxing as a business first.
Right.
Sports secondary. Handle your business. Handle your contracts first. Make sure you understand and know of that first. Then center in on the sport. And the guys are the business, man. Like we know that. It's just the sport or the business doesn't give them the fighters the education. So it's like, oh well, if they don't give them the education, then why should we? Just move forward? But now, man, enough is enough. So I don't know how like this is gonna end. I hope I can just see it through. You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited for what's to come with Protect Yourself at All Times as a whole.
Man, how do me and Mike in the main event get on the show? How do we become a part of the Protect Yourself at All Times TV show? How do we? I'm gonna put him on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my homie. We can always go back and say, "You see what you said? You said we was on, right? You said we was on.
I got the video. Let me rewind
it. You feel me? We got to turn it into a meme if we got to. You know what I'm saying? But how can we? What we got to do, brother?
You know, we go back. You've always looked out for me, so everyone that looked out for me to get to this point, like I'm gonna make sure I look out for them going backwards, man. Because there were like a few key people that helped a 24, 25-year-old guy when they really didn't have to, man. So you opened up your doors, your home. You know what I'm saying, for me to come in and kick it. So I'm gonna make sure everything is good.
Man, you know we got to try to do something, man. You know, but I want to know more about Mike. Mike, if you got anything to ask him, man, you know,
I'm just enjoying myself. You go right ahead.
Because it's a lot of fighters watch the Main Event podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube as we bring you nothing but the best. But check this out: a lot of fighters, man, they really don't know what goes into these contracts, and they just be happy to be getting them to get in the position to fight. Right now, we know as soon as a fighter breaks loose, there's really not a lot of money in the beginning. Well, let me be real. There's not a lot of money in the beginning, right? But what can you tell a fighter to look out for in the beginning stages when there's not a lot of money in the beginning?
Forget about the numbers. Like, don't look at the numbers. I think with most fighters, you get your contract and you like automatically look at, okay, well, how much am I going to get paid, or how many years am I in this contract? But there's different things, and I'll break down two different sides. Like your managerial contract, I'll be honest with you, unless it's an Al Heyman or a Jay Prince or Frank Espinosa, a guy that veteran in the game. Like it's not even about the world championship. It's guys that honestly they're not hurting for money. You know what I'm saying? They don't need you as like a meal ticket, so to speak. Unless you're gonna have an agreement with one of those guys, focus on a couple things. You flip to the last page of your contract, before you sign, there's a clause that says rights to assign. So, and I always laugh when I break down rights to assign. And I'm gonna try not to say the S word because I don't like to throw like slavery around like it's just something that's light. But in regards to like a business owner, boxers are business owners. Like you're not employed by a promoter, you're not employed by your manager. In fact, you're an independent contractor to where your promotional company, they contract your services to come in and fight. So you come in and fight, win, lose, or draw, they give you a paycheck. With that paycheck, like, yeah, of course, you pay yourself, but you got a team to pay. You got your manager, you got your trainer, your cut man, or whatever. You pay those individuals with the check that you get from the promotional company contracting your services. So you're not employed by your promoter. I've been to these offices before. I've met their employees. You're not one of them. And even with your manager works for you. You pay him, regardless of if there was a loan or a stipend that your manager put up to help you out. Like, you're still like paying them. So rights to assign, what that means is if you sign that contract and let's say Towan manages you, and then Mike, you come to Towan like, yo, man, I really like this kid, yo. Like, I give you $50,000 for his contract. And T like, yo, make it 100. We got a deal.
Right.
You say deal. Towan, he don't have to go consult with the fighter. He can just hand you over that contract.
Really?
Switch the names up or whatever, and then you become his manager. The fighter over there hitting the bag, he was getting his work in. You go describe to the fighter like, yo, hey, I'm your new manager, I'm Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's
I'm
like,
Mike.
where's T at? And it's like, so rights to assign. I always look at that clause and I'm like, bro, why don't y'all like have these guys sever that from the contract? But that's just one thing. And
Is that because a lot of the boxers don't understand what that really means?
yeah, most like it ain't even the boxers. I mean, I didn't know what it. I was a sports agent. I'm like, what does rights to assign mean? So when someone explained it to me, I'm like, wait, is this for real? Like, I didn't know. So it's not just the fighters that don't know about the business or the contracts. It's people that are actually in it. They just copy and paste the contracts. And it's like, yeah, here, sign this. But, rights to assign is something that's in there. But what's not in a managerial contract is a way for the fighter. Like, let's say if a fighter looks bad and the promotional company drops him, or he just doesn't look good at all, the manager could walk away like, yo, I appreciate you, man. So you fought hard, but I'm not going to manage you anymore. The manager can walk away any time from the contract. Really? The fighter cannot. Yeah. You sign a 5-year deal with a manager, bro, you better get comfortable.
Oh, wow.
Let you go.
So the manager can walk away, but the fighter cannot.
Right. No. And the fighter's the one that's the paying entity. So it's like, yeah. So
boxing is a cold game.
It's just a whole piece of work. So it's just like, man, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, like, well, I'm lying. I was going to say I'm not trying to throw salt on nobody's game, but yeah, I am. The old school managers, the old way of doing things, like, no, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? I sat and watched the negotiation with Jay Prince and another big name fighter I'm not going to name, but, that was an open dialogue to where it's like, I'm not comfortable with this, and Jay's like, okay, I understand. And it's like things were severed, so it don't matter how big of the individual that you're negotiating with. If Jay Prince can say, okay, cool, we'll take it out, then any manager that's not Jay Prince
can say we can take it out.
Exactly.
Jay say we can take it out.
I'm just encouraging guys, man, to be businessmen first. Be businessmen first. Handle your business first. Then once business is handled, man, then you can get into focusing on the sport of boxing and being the best, but you gotta handle business first. If you don't handle business first, oh yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Man, find yourself locked in the contracts,
right?
That you can't get out of.
It's happened to so many guys, and this is not just like this year thing or last year thing, but this is something dating back to 60s, 50s, probably before that. So it's a problem that's been going on for a while. That just protect yourself at all times is put in place to just educate and inform, man. I'm not trying to start no union or like that's above my pay grade.
So pretty much, fighters are just getting into the game and whatnot, and they probably have been amateurs and they know how to fight. Now they're a pro. So the best thing for them to do is to get a hold of you, or how would they get this information?
I mean, the book is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. So protect yourself at all times. A guide for professional boxers. I wrote it simple, man. I don't like reading long books, so I didn't write a long book. I broke it down to where it's in its simplest form. You can understand it. Your wife or your girlfriend can understand it. Your boy can understand it. Your mom or your dad or whoever your guardian is can understand it. But get the education before you sign or before you bring in anyone else to represent your career. Understand what you're getting into. You know what I'm saying? Don't just walk into the sport of boxing blindly, because honestly, it's not. People look at Floyd and think, oh, yeah, that's going to be the end game. Floyd's a 1%.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Jerry. I think about Jerry. Jerry Belmontes, like, he retired from the sport of boxing. I think he's 30 now. Young guy. And he's driving for FedEx, but like the boxing money is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going through a divorce. Things are different for him now. Like most fighters, I'm not hoping anybody gets divorced or whatever, but your career when you retire, it's not gonna look like Floyd's, where you got millions of dollars in the bank.
Right.
Like, no. Most guys, you go to work after you're done with the sport of boxing, man. So just be smart.
And, you know, on top of that, not only you got to know about your contract, but you got to know how to invest the money that you get.
Yeah, and that's the difficult thing. Like, and I think that comes with age, man, because I remember 24, like getting a little bit of money. The last thing I was thinking about was investing. Like, what does that mean? I'm an investor, all right?
Right.
I'm investing in these flights and all
Right,
this,
right.
You know, stuff that doesn't amount to anything. So, whether it's an NBA guy or a boxer or NFL player, I believe in like letting guys kind of get it out their system a little bit. Let them buy what they want to buy, kind of with a little bit of censorship on it. Like, yo, don't buy that Bentley, bro. Like, this is your first year. I know you got to pay a lot of money, but don't buy the Bentley, bro. Get an American car. Get something get a Mustang or a Camaro or something like that. But you get paid again, and you know what I'm saying, you win fights or you get to championship status, then you can splurge a little bit more, man. So
Because it's still a grind.
Oh yeah, it definitely is, man. It definitely is. So just the education is important, though. The education is important in the beginning before they cross over.
For sure. Well, since we was talking about the contracts, man, and stuff like that, I want to talk about stuff that some of these boxing fans might want to hear on the Main Event Podcast. Right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Me and Mike was talking, we liking Terrence Crawford, man, and since we talking contracts and these fans want to know, what you think that Top Rank contract is keeping him from making the moves he want to make? Is he just stuck over there, or what's the real reason why him and Earl can't get down, or him and
it's
anybody can get down?
I'll say this, and Todd and Bob have been good to me, so I don't want to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? And
for sure. Brad, what's happening, man?
But I'll say this, when his contract expired with Top Rank initially, you're a free agent at that point. Right. So you got to look at it from like a basketball or football standpoint. Test the waters, bro. You need to go sit down with Al. You need to go sit down with Oscar. Sit down with Eddie Hearn. Sit down with everyone and listen to their offers. You know what I'm saying? Hear what they got to say. I'll tell something that I wrote about. I know we talk about Terrence, but I'm going to give an example with Errol. This was before he hit mainstream status. He fought in New York, and I was like, yo, stay in New York. Yo, Rock Nation is giving out a lot of money right now. It's not the point of signing, but just hear what they got to say. Let's go sit down with them or whatever. And I think if Al knew about this back then, he would have definitely been off with my head. But we was in me and EJ was in Rock Nation office. He was dead tired. He was about to go to sleep during the meeting. That's when David Iskowitz was running things at.
I remember Dave. I met Dave. I got a story about that. I won't go into that, though. But yeah, I know. What up, Dave? I met Dave.
But Michael Yormark ended up coming in, and he made a whatever offer to Errol, and like I knew he wasn't going to take it, but it's like, bro, as long as you know what the market is like for you right now, because even he made a comment, Errol made a comment like, yo, if they're offering this right now, just imagine what they'll offer 2 years from now, whatever. But Terrence should have tested the waters, and then like if he wanted to stay with Top Rank, cool. It's a top tier promotional company, probably the best like right now. But you go back to them like, well, look, man, like Al is offering this, and he got the welterweight, so can we do something with my contract to where I can go fight against, you know what I'm saying, Premier Boxing Champion guys or whatever. But I just wish he would have handled more business than just signing with who he was comfortable with. Because they get you with the whole,
come on, we've been together forever, baby.
You already know
what's happening. Yeah, you already know. Why would you want to break this up everything we did for each other? Come on, man. Hit it with the guilt trip.
Yeah, right. So
and then it
looks like he's like kind of.
But the thing about, since we on Crawford, the thing about Crawford is he's not being, I don't like you said, I ain't trying to down nobody.
Right.
But I don't think he been promoted right. I think that for his level of competitiveness, for his background, you can go through his record. He should be much further, and by now he shouldn't have had to scratch for a fight.
I mean, he only scratching because he can't fight outside Top Rank confinement. That's the only reason why he's scratching. Or else he'd have been
Listen.
fought them people.
Okay, hold on.
You remember when Earl came in here and I said, man, when you think you and Crawford go fight? Earl said, man, it's probably gonna be 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. But the thing about
And
it
that's
is,
why.
But check this out. He's in a position right now where he got several fighters that are willing to get in the ring with him, right? They may not be the ideal fight for him, but for the fan is like, because I'm looking at it from a fan point of view.
Right.
I know y'all look at it from the business point of view or whatnot, but from a fan point of view, I'm saying, man, you got these guys that's calling you out. I mean, and you not even, taking the fight, and then not only that, it's all. I know it's a backdrop. I know it had to do with money, contracts, and stuff like that. But however, when do the fighter say to the promoter, "Let's get this done"? Let's make this happen because for one, you got Gary Russell, who is several weight classes under him, calling him out, and even talking about how he sucker punched him. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about money no more.
Gary Russell got sucker punched by
No, Gary Russell sucker punched
Did he?
Crawford, yes.
Man, Crawford, if you don't put hands on that boy,
That's what the fan's saying. The fan is saying, look, and dig this. You got Keith Thurman, who went and tried to, make a negotiation. From my understanding, he wanted $10 million. They came back and they wanted to offer, and then Kell Brooks, they offered Kell Brooks $1.5 million, right? So here's Gary Russell. I'll take the $1.5 million. It ain't even about the money. It's personal for me. At that point, when do you go to your promoter and say, let's make this happen?
I feel what you're saying, and in so many ways I agree. I think it would be best for Terrence Crawford to fight Kell Brook, beat Kell Brook, and then post-fight interview like, yo, like enough playing. Like I just dismantled a guy that Errol Spence dismantled. Like everybody want to see me and Errol Spence, so no more talk about me and someone else or Errol and someone else. Like, you know what I'm saying, I beat the dude he beat. I beat him better. Like Errol, like get it Al, I'll get at Bob. If they don't want to come to the table, me and you come to the table. Mm-hmm. So I agree from a fan standpoint. Like just looking at it from a just like sheer fanatic standpoint, that's what you want to see happen. You know what I'm saying? I brought them together in Oklahoma City. That was a fight. I think Maurice Hooker fought Saucedo. And I got word that Crawford would be there, so Errol and I, like the whole camp, we drove up from Dallas, and we knew we were running. We just didn't know it was going to be like that perfect, but we knew they'd be in the building or whatever. So we ran up on them, and you can see that on YouTube. Like,
that's when they was into it. I seen that.
Yeah. When he was like, "You a little pudgy right here." Yeah. It was in that video. I think Earl was like, "Where AC at? Where AC at?"
So we said that, but like I agree with you from a fan standpoint. You want to see the guys just be like, "Yo, I understand y'all got promoters or whatever, but y'all can make it happen yourselves." And Terrence and Errol, honestly, well, more so Errol, they can make it happen. But timing is everything, man. And Errol is Terrence also. Both of them are very smart guys. You know what I'm saying? So we want it now as fans, but timing is everything. It's gonna happen, man. It's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna happen when Bud know he can get bigger than what Top Rank gonna give him, and that's when it'll happen. Because I mean, right now I think it ain't happening to me personally because whoever lose, they kind of up Battle Creek. You know what I'm saying? They gotta up Battle Creek. It's like if
not really.
Yeah, because if we make the fight happen, right? I'm Terrence Crawford, you Earl Spence, and say he Bob Arum, right? So I'm with him.
Okay.
But if you go in there and dog me out in front of the world, and I ain't got nothing, no points on you, no nothing to go forward, well then you just cut out how I'm gonna feed my great grandkids.
Not exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Again, I'm coming from this fan point of view. You coming from the business side.
Okay.
Okay. The fan point of view says, look, if you lose, you still Terrence Crawford or you still Earl.
Right.
Eventually, one of them gonna move up anyway. So there's other weight classes that have other belts that you can go and get.
Mike,
you're not done.
I do want to interrupt you because we talking as fans now.
Yeah.
Fans are notorious for writing guys off after one loss. It's like if you lose, like, oh man, he need to retire, man. Like it's a wrap for him. It's
Yeah,
like, bro,
that
it's
is
just
true.
one
That is
loss.
true.
Until they get back in the ring.
True.
They always give him that one bounce
Until
back fight.
they get back in the
always
ring.
give that one bounce back
Once
fight.
they get back in that ring,
Yeah.
and they show they still got it. I mean, look at Porter.
True.
Porter, he'll lose, but that next fight though,
Yeah.
will be sensational.
Yeah.
And then he right back.
But you know why he keep getting them big fights? Because 1, he could still fight. 2, he would out. 3, the other guys would out. So if he go in there and dog walk Earl Spence, Al's still winning. He got a 1-loss Earl and a 35-3 Shawn Porter who just whooped Earl. He's eating either way. You put Terrence Crawford in there with Shawn Porter, Al or Bob gonna be sick at the end of the night.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of talk about it without using the business. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I know. Yeah,
saying?
it's hard.
Yeah, it's
We always go at it like that though, all the time.
But at the same time, somewhere down the line, business and fans have to meet, because sooner or later, fans gonna get tired of the same old circle, and they're gonna get frustrated, and it's not gonna be exciting no more.
I got you. Yeah.
See, the fans is what keeps this thing going.
Right.
The boxers fight, and we love to see them fight. But who wants to see Terrence Crawford fight? And I'm not taking nothing from this fight. A Green Machine again. Who wants to see that?
Nobody.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody.
Everybody wants to see Terrence Crawford fight who?
And
Earl.
but I'll say this.
All the
And I-
147s is over there with old Al.
True, but I'm not trying to see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence when both of them are like 34, 35 years old.
Right.
I'm not
It's
trying-
my
right,
point.
right,
I'm not trying
right.
to see Floyd and
That's right.
Pacquiao. Like it's like that fight was just,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to see that at a late age. But like T said, I just wish Terrence.
I mean, it's business. Why you think? Put it this way. Me knowing what I know now, I really think it was Bob Arum dodging Floyd all that time. Because you knew once Pacquiao got in the ring with him, he was going to lose. Mm-hmm. So why would I let you beat up on my dude and I can still
Right,
get
still
money
get
with
money
the
from it.
Philippines for
Yeah.
years?
And just
other
chase
than
the fighters you already
But
fought.
when that contract already up and everybody making their money and he about to leave anyway, so if he lose, I didn't cash out all I'm going to ever cash out on Pacquiao. Go ahead and lose, bruh. Let's all get this money.
But we all know Bob Arum he's a specialist at that.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why-
Bob been getting money for a long time, man. He really showed people how to do this, man.
But
Black or
Bob-
white, that
Bob-
boy.
Bob's still spending money from '88.
Man,
Yeah,
right.
sure.
You feel me? Bob still got money. I'm telling you, man. To me, I still think he got the coldest deal. That's why he was the first one back at it with no fans, like nothing happened.
Right.
It just took a minute for him to get it together. As soon as they got it together, they was the first ones
But
back.
promoters do a good job of playing chess. You think about when like Canelo fought Floyd, like that was a perfect win-win for Canelo.
Yeah,
Like,
for
bro,
sure.
Even if you lose, you still win because you fought.
And you was 23 years
Yes,
old.
of course he's gonna destroy you, but
Right.
we're gonna roll the dice and hope that you hit him with something that can flow him. But
Right.
even if you lose, bro, he can wipe
still-
you out.
Yeah. He knew he wasn't getting knocked out.
But
He
that's
knew
the-
he wasn't getting knocked out.
That's
so.
the same scenario when Mikey Garcia came up to fight Earl.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either
For
way
sure.
it go, he may have lost on paper,
Right.
but he won because you didn't came up and dared to be great. You didn't fought beyond your weight class,
Yeah.
and you went in there and said, "Look, I'm nobody else want to fight the boogeyman. I'm gonna fight the boogeyman."
I'll take a butt whooping from Errol Spence for a career payday
Right.
to get more than I've
Yeah.
made pretty much in my whole career in just one night. Oh yeah, I'll get in there. I'll take that.
Man,
butt
what do you
And
got to say about
I even
that?
make it look good.
Oh yeah, for sure. What do you got to say about the fighters, man, who turned down money? Like, oh nah, I ain't fighting for that. You be like, bro, you ain't never made this. How
Right.
you?
Yeah,
how
no.
you walking away from this?
It goes to what like you're saying about the fans, man. Like fans, you're scared to lose, and then Floyd puts a lot of pressure on you also because it's like he's undefeated and he preaches. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying that my O don't go nowhere. You don't want to lose as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough to line yourself up for a loss when you really don't have to, and you think that okay, I can finesse it the way Floyd did and make big money on the bruh. in boxing, man, opportunities like come and go. They go real fast, bro. So it's like, especially if it's something that's $500,000 or over, man, take that fight, bro.
Take
the fight.
Shoot, even if it's up there in the 50s and 60s, and all you've been making, you ain't never made more than 12.
True.
You better go be an opponent, bro, and roll the dice.
True.
Don't get knocked out. Put on a good fight. You know they'll bring you back.
Right.
Especially if you probably beat him, but they robbed you. They bring you back on the strength.
Definitely. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
You may get a promotional deal based off of that.
Yeah, like, man, you lost, but you look good losing.
Right.
You feel there's such thing as looking good losing.
You know what I'm saying? The whole A side, B side thing, man, like it kind of irks me a little bit. I get it, but like guys, if you didn't have a high amateur background, bro, if you didn't go to the Olympics or you don't have more than probably 75 fights as amateur, you don't have a promotional deal. But you gonna be B side is what they call it. Which honestly, once that bell ring, it don't matter who.
It don't matter.
You just gotta go at it. But I understand with the judges or whatever it may be, because like in the game of boxing, bro, like judges are sided to the guy that's brought in by the promoter or whatever. But it's on you as a quote unquote B side guy to go in there and take somebody's lunch, man.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't have that high amateur background or you don't have a promoter, you're gonna be fighting on the B side until you beat somebody, bro.
Right,
So you gotta take somebody's lunch, man.
Yeah,
Got you.
that's how it go at the end of the day, man. Man, I appreciate you coming out, AC, man.
You already know, man.
Man, I can't believe you made that flight, man, to come all the way out here to Vegas, man.
Much appreciated.
He can stand up there on the strip. Ain't no telling what he gonna do. Man. You know what I'm saying? He out here chilling. He kidless for the day. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling, man.
No, I actually got a lot of work to do, man. So I'm gonna get back to the hotel. I'm gonna get something to eat probably around here, and then get back to the hotel and put in the work for a couple hours, and then my flight leaves at I think 9:30 tomorrow. So I'm gonna get around like 7.
He really came out just to talk to us, man.
Yeah.
That's how you know. It's my partner right here, man. That's my dog right here, man. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Main Event Podcast, man. I really enjoyed this episode, not only because we got to school a lot of people, excuse me, but I got to see my boy. We got to talk about some stuff in boxing, and hopefully a lot of fighters, you can get a little clearer understanding about what it is you're going into when you're getting these debut contracts from these promoters.
Put a little plug in on his book.
And if you ain't got his book, where can they get this from?
Hey, well, he made a mistake early when he introduced me. He said 2 books, bro. We got 4 books.
I'm
4 books.
See how he just do me like that? I'm sorry. We got 4 books, man. We got 4 books. I'm sorry. Name all 4, right? I got one in my hand, the Dark Horse.
The first one is titled A Guide for Young Entrepreneurs. Second book is Protect Yourself at All Times, a guide for professional boxers. Third book is titled Boxing Equals Life, and it's more so a motivational book comparing the sport of boxing to life and how they're synonymous. Fourth book is Dark Horse, my memoirs as a boxing manager. And I actually got a 5th book that I'm announcing October when I'm in Houston. But it has nothing to do with sports. It's more so something on the personal tip, man. But I got 5 coming now, man.
5?
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
5 on it.
Well, make sure you put it on the last page. The Chiefs will repeat. You feel me? All right, this is the Main Event Podcast, baby.
On that note, we're officially finished.
Man, I'm Towan Butler, man. One of your hosts. That's Mike Risper, man. He over there with my partner forever. AC, Adrian Clark, man. Thank you for coming to the Main Event Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe. And like OJ say, everybody always need an AC, baby. We got to do what we got to do. Till next time.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.